Hi guys, it's Agnieszka from 5 Minute Language. Welcome to my channel. Make sure you subscribe if you haven't already and give this video a thumbs up. So in today's video, I'm going to give you 10 tips for learning a new foreign language. Let's get started. One important truth to start with. If you want to speak the language you're learning, you need vocabulary, you need words to be able to build sentences and then to express the messages that you're trying to express. So start with learning vocabulary. I would recommend starting with frequency lists, which are basically lists of words which are very commonly used in a language. So you can just Google a frequency list in the language you're learning and start by learning the 100 most common words that are used in that language. That will give you a head start and it will ensure that you're learning the words that you really need and not just random vocabulary. Tip number 2. Don't learn words in isolation. Learn them in context. So always try to look up sentences that use the words that you're learning in order to see how they're actually used in conversations. Research the context, look it up, and then try to recreate it. So try to make your own sentences using the words that you're learning. Tip number 3, have a plan. Schedule it in. It's like a doctor's appointment. If it's scheduled in, it's going to happen. If you haven't made an appointment, it's not going to happen. So make sure that you treat your learning like an appointment. Commit to it, put it in your diary, and it will definitely happen. Tip number 4, read a lot. And what I mean by that is a lot. Remember I mentioned learning in context. Well, when you learn vocabulary, you also want to do a little bit of passive learning. So you want to be able to see the words that you're learning in context. You want to see how they're actually used in context. So when you're reading, you will actually absorb a lot of stuff, even if you didn't specifically set out to do that. Tip number 5, listen intently. Don't just listen passively. Sometimes people just put on a show on Netflix in a foreign language, or they put on some music and they think that they will just absorb the language. But the important thing is to actually set yourself a task whenever you're doing a listening activity. So I'm going to cover that in this tip and the next tip. So tip number 5 is listen for meaning and summarize. So play something, a recording, an interview on YouTube or somebody's video or a vlog. Listen to 5 minutes of it and then summarize it in your own words. That way you will be listening for meaning, you will know what your task is, so when you start listening, you will know exactly what you're doing. You won't just be listening passively. Tip number 6 is listen for details. And by details, I mean the different sounds that make up the language and the different letter combinations, and also how different words sound when they're next to each other. Sometimes they will blend together, sometimes they will be pronounced completely separately. So make sure that you spend a lot of time listening for those details as well. Tip number 7 is record your learning. Use a language notebook and use it for spaced repetition. If you're not familiar with spaced repetition, I've got a video about that. I'm going to link it here, so make sure you check it out as well. Finally, tip number 8, speaking. Try to speak a lot, even if you've got nobody to speak to. So there are lots of different ways you can do this. For example, you can prepare a short presentation on a topic. You can sit down and record yourself as if you were making a YouTube video, for example. That way you can then watch it and you can pick up your own mistakes more easily. Or you can show it to somebody else who will be able to give you feedback. You can also just walk around the house and talk about what you can see, name the different things, go outside and name the different things that you can see outside as well. Or you can just look at a picture and describe what you can see in it. Tip number 9 is set goals and review your progress. So that's something that's incredibly important, something that will allow you to make progress more quickly and to also stay motivated. So when you're setting goals for language learning, make sure they're smart, that they're specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and time-bound. Set yourself deadlines, make sure that your goals are quite small and not too overwhelming, and make sure that you review your progress frequently. You can use your language learning notebook to do that and record the things that have gone well and the things that you would like to improve in the future. So this will really keep your learning on track and help you stay motivated. So my final tip is about working on your confidence and going out there and trying to speak the language you're learning. So in terms of confidence, if you feel a little bit shy, try to work on it. Try to look up different strategies for overcoming your shyness. I've actually got a video about that, so you can check it out as well. But generally, just remember that you're amazing already and you can already speak at least a little bit of the language, which is always better than nothing. So just keep reminding yourself that you're doing great, that you're making progress, and that soon you will be able to get to the level that you're trying to get to. So I hope you found these 10 tips useful. Let me know in the comments below what language you're learning and which of these tips is your favorite one. And also share your tips with the rest of the community. Make sure you subscribe to my channel and give this video a thumbs up as well. And I'll see you next time. Bye!